Hello all, welcome to Gurukul CAT 100 series, a series designed to take you from your study room to your corporate boardroom. I am Deepak and this is Daily Quant with Deepak. Hi all, welcome back to day 71 of 100 days to CAT Quant series. In this video, we will be discussing 5 questions from quantitative aptitude from all the modules. Right. So whenever a question is displayed on the screen, pause the video, try solving that question. Once you're done solving, you can resume the video. If you find this video useful, like the video, share this video with your friends who are preparing for CAT, and most importantly, for more videos of this kind, subscribe to this channel. In case if you want to attempt these 5 questions in the form of a test, you can sign up in our portal, thegurukul.org.in. The link is provided in the description below. Once you sign up, you will get access to a course called 100 Days Race to CAT, in which there will be 3 sections: Quant, LRDI, and VARC. We will be uploading 100 tests in each section, so that if you are a serious CAT 25 aspirant looking for practice, right, so you will get ample amount of material to practice. And without any further delay, let's get started with the first question. A person who has a certain amount with him goes to a market. He can buy 50 oranges or 40 mangoes. He retains 10% of the amount for taxi fares and buys 20 mangoes, and of the balance he purchases oranges. Number of oranges he can purchase is. So we have that person purchasing oranges and mangoes, and with the amount that he has, he can buy 50 oranges, right, or 40 mangoes. With the amount he has, he can buy 50 oranges or 40 mangoes. Now let me consider the amount that he has to be a multiple of LCM of these two. Now what is LCM of 50 and 40? 200. Now let me consider the amount that he is having to be 200x. Now if that's the case, right, with this 200x, he'll be able to purchase 50 oranges. So what would be the cost of each orange? 4x rupees. And with this 200x, he can purchase 40 mangoes. So what would be the price of each mango? 5x rupees, right? Then he retains 10% of the amount for taxi fares. Now what is 10% of 200x? 20x, right? So he uses, or he kept aside 20x rupees for taxi. So he would be left with 180x, with which he wants to buy some mangoes and oranges, right? So how many mangoes did he buy? He buys 20 mangoes. So if the cost of one mango is 5x, the cost of 20 mangoes would be 100x, right? So with this 180 rupees, 180x rupees, he purchased 100x worth mangoes. So he's left with 80x rupees. What was the number of oranges he can purchase is? Now the cost of one orange is 4x. With 80x rupees, he'll get to purchase 20 oranges. So option D should be the answer to this question. Now coming to the second question. 2/5 of the voters promised to vote for P and the rest promised to vote for Q. Of these, on the last day, 15% of the voters went back of their promise to vote for P, and 25% of voters went back of their promise to vote for Q. And P lost by 2 votes. Then the total number of voters is. Now we have 5 in the denominator, and these are mentioned in terms of percentages, right? So just to avoid fraction, right? So I'll be considering the total voters to be 500x. Right? Now, if I consider the total voters to be 500x, 2/5 of the voters promised to vote for P and Q. Right? So, what is 2/5 of 500? 200x. So, 200x voters promised to vote for P, and the remaining 300x promised to vote for Q. Right? Of these, on the last day, 15% of the voters went back of their promise to vote for P. Now, what is 15% of 200x? 30x. So, I will write this as 170x plus 30x. Right? They did not keep their promise. Right? So, these 30x persons, they voted for who? They voted for Q. Right? Now, similarly, 25% of the voters went back of their promise to vote for Q. Right? So, what is 25% of 300x? 1%, 10% is 30, 20% 60, 25% 60 plus 15, 75. So I'll be writing 300x as 225x who kept their promise plus 75x who did not keep their promise. So these 75x voters, they voted for P, and these 30x voters, they voted for Q. Right. Now 170 plus 75, 170x plus 75x. That would be the total number of votes P had received, right? So 170x plus 75x, that would be 245x, right? And 225x plus 30x, 255x is the number of votes received by Q, right? So P received 245x, Q received 255x. Now what is the difference? Q received 10x more votes than P, and it is given that P lost by 2 votes. So 10x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 1 by 5. Now if x is equal to 1 by 5, what was us? Then the total number of voters is. Now what did we assume to be the total number of voters? 500x. So 500x, so 500 into 1 by 5, 100 should be the answer to this question. Now coming to the third question, a stockist wants to purchase some profit by selling sugar. He contemplates about various methods. Which of the following would maximize his profit? First, selling sugar at 10%. So if that's the case, the profit that he would be receiving is 10%. Next, second, use 900 grams of weight instead of 1 kg. So using faulty weight, right? So let us assume he purchases 1000 grams of sugar for 1000 rupees. So the cost price is 1 rupees per gram, right? Now he uses 900 grams of weight instead of 1 kg. So while selling, he will be selling only 900 grams of the mixture, right, of sugar for 1000 rupees. Now, what was the cost incurred by him to purchase these 900 grams? 900 rupees at 1 gram per, oh sorry, 1 rupee per gram. Now, what was the profit earned? 100 rupees. 100 rupees was the profit. Now, what was the cost price? Now, cost price of 900 grams was 900 rupees. So, 100 by 900 rupees into 100. So, that would be 11.11% profit. So by using 900 grams of weight instead of 1 kg, right? So he will be earning 11.11% profit, which is more than 10%, right? So I can eliminate option A because option 2 gives more profit than option 1, and I can also eliminate option D. Profits are not same, right? So this is 10%, this is 11.11%. Now let's look at option 3. Mix 10% impurities in sugar and selling sugar at cost price. Okay, so let us consider that he purchases 1000 grams for 1000 rupees. Now he mixes 10% of impurities in sugar. Now what is 10% of 1000? 100 grams. So he mixes 100 grams of impurities which come at no cost, right? So now he has 1100 grams of mixture and he will be selling this at cost price. Now what is cost price? 1 rupee per gram. So 1100 grams he would be selling for 1100 rupees, right? Now what was the cost that was incurred? So the cost incurred to make this 1100 grams of mixture would be 1000 rupees only, because these this 100 grams, right, they come at no cost, right? So 1000 rupees. So what was the profit earned? 100 rupees on what? On what was the investment? 1000 rupees. So that is 10%, right? So again, 2 and 3 cannot have same profit, so you can eliminate option C. Option B should be the answer to this question. No need to check for option 4. Increase the price by 5% and reduce by 5%. So that means if I purchase, or if the shopkeeper or the stockist purchases 1000 grams for 1000 rupees, right? So while selling, he will be selling only 950 grams and the two at 1050 rupees, right? So the cost price of 950 grams would be 950 rupees. So he would be earning how much? 100 rupees profit on what? On 950 into 100. So that will be less than 11.11%. So the answer for this question should be option B. Now coming to the fourth question, for the product n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1, n belongs to natural number, which one of the following is not necessarily true? So we have n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1, right? It is even, right? So if n is a natural number, so n can be either even or odd. Now if I consider n as even, this term will be an even number, right? Because even number into any number, right? Whether it's odd or even, it will be an even number. Okay. So when n is even, the number n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 is also going to be even. Now if n is odd, right? So odd plus 1, this will be an even number. Again we got even number into something which is an even number. So this is definitely true, hence this cannot be the answer. Right? Now let us check whether n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 is divisible by 3. Now if any one of these, or if n is a multiple of 3, then this will be multiple of 3, right? Then it will be divisible by 3, right? Now let us consider n to be in the form of 3x plus 1, now which is not a multiple of 3, right? Now if n is 3x plus 1, n plus 1 would be 3x plus 2, and 2n plus 1, I can write 2n plus 1 as n plus n plus 1, right? So we have considered n to be 3x plus 1 plus 3x plus 2. Now this is not a multiple of 3, this is not a multiple of 3. Now let us check this. Now what do we have? 3x plus 3x, 6x plus 1 plus 2, 3. Now this is, I can write this as 3 into 2x plus 1, which is a multiple of 3, right? So if n is in the form of 3x plus 1, then n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 is again a multiple of 3, right? Now let us check when n is in the form of 3x plus 2. If n is in the form of 3x plus 2, so n plus 1, this will be in the form of 3x plus 3, which is nothing but 3 into x plus 1, a multiple of 3. Right. So if n is a multiple of 3, this will be divisible by 3. If n is in the form of 3x plus 1, then also it is a multiple of 3. When n is in the form of 3x plus 2, then also it is a multiple of 3. So the given expression n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 is definitely divisible by 3. So this is definitely true, hence cannot be the answer. Right. Now option C, divisible by sum of the square of first n natural numbers. Yes, n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 when divided by sum of the first squares of first n natural numbers, that is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6, right? So these two will get cancelled, hence this is a multiple of 6. Sorry, this is a multiple of square of first n natural numbers, and the quotient will be 6. Definitely true, right? Now n is never divisible, sorry, this term n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 is never divisible by 237. Now what if the value of n is 237? Then that is divisible by 237, right? So this is not necessarily or definitely true, right? Now this is false when the value of n is 237. Hence this statement cannot be definitely true. So option D should be the answer to this question. Or coming to the fifth question, PQRS is a square, SR is a tangent at point S to the circle with center O, and TR is equal to OS. Then the ratio of area of the circle to the area of the square is, right? Now PQRS is a square and SR is a tangent. So this should be 90 degrees. We are given with TR is equal to OS. Now what is OS? OS is nothing but the radius of the circle R. So the length of TR should also be equal to R units. Right. Now what is OT? OT is directly the radius of the circle. So this should be R. Right. So if this is R, this is R, the length of OR, which is nothing but the hypotenuse in the triangle RSO, is 2R. Now if this is R, this is 2R, what should be the length of the other perpendicular side? Root 3R, which is nothing but the side of the square. If the side of the square is root 3R, what is the area of the square? 3R square. What is the area of the circle? Pi R square. What was asked? Find the ratio of area of circle to area of the square. These two will get cancelled. Pi by 3. Hence option A should be the answer to this question.
Hope you enjoyed learning from today's session.
This series is designed to help you with your CAT preparation and practice daily. We are with you in this journey.
To watch the next video, click here. And to watch Gurukul's CAT 100 series, study room to boardroom, the entire playlist, click here.
If you learned from today's session, like, share, and subscribe.